Warning, we are about to spoil Dark City. If you haven't seen the film and you plan on watching it, then click away now. Or if you've already seen it, or you just don't care, then please stick around.
Man, Truman Show Season 2 is fucked up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cinema Roulette. Today's movie I'm actually quite excited to talk about because not only had I seen it before, but this came as a recommendation to us from the good old fellows at Let's Chat Podcast.
Yes, we are doing a little special today because, again, we're still not doing TV stuff until next year. And I decided we should do the one-off wheel, which we probably mentioned back in, I want to say, like, somewhere around episode 30.
Was it that fucking long ago?
Yeah, we brought it up a few times, but I think we mentioned it originally, like, back in between 20 to 40, like, around there.
Jesus.
We just never got around to it. But this time we did. We were going to do an episode with Weeby Gamers, but currently things are very busy.
Yeah, we've all just kind of gotten slammed and just schedules haven't lined up, sadly.
So I asked 3 of the people who work on Let's Chat for 5 movies. 2 of them gave me 6. It's fine.
And the 3 hosts are what? Seaball, Chris Revel, and Bree, right?
Yes, which they also did an interview with us. You can go find that on, well, it's technically on their YouTube page, but if you go to our YouTube playlist, it is in there. It got separated in 2 parts because of technical issues.
Yeah. But you can watch all that madness unfold before your very eyes, only on...
It will also be linked in the show notes for anyone who's listening to the podcast on podcast apps.
Yes, it will be. Don't you worry. We got all our bases covered, ladies and gentlemen.
But this one is from Seaball, who... Well, yeah, I think Cameron already said the title by accident. I don't know.
Oh, no, I think I said it in the spoiler. I said at the beginning, this one's one I'm excited to talk about.
Oh, okay. So we still have to say the title. Wait, where do I put the wheel spin?
I mean, you can put it here right now if you want.
Whoa, so cool.
Wow.
It's Dark City.
Oh my gosh.
We went quiet. It's
Dark City, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, this one. What?
I was going to say something. My brain's gone. Go.
Nice. No, wait, your brain's gone? It just disappeared?
Gone.
Well.
It's now just a foot.
Of course it's a foot.
Stomp. Just slam my head against the desk.
Just clunk. God damn it. We're in one of these moods tonight.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, this is a very interesting sci-fi movie. And this movie is something that a lot of hipsters say is the better Matrix movie because this came out a few years before The Matrix and has very similar themes to it.
Yeah, and after watching it, because this is my first time, after watching it, I can 100% see how people compare them, but I think, spoilers on my own opinion, I think The Matrix and this film are equal, but they're both good for different reasons.
Yeah. But this one technically did come out the year before The Matrix, so that's why a lot of people are like, oh, well, The Matrix just copied Dark City. Not really.
And they sometimes use the same sets.
They did, actually, yeah. Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Is that a fucking phone?
Let me put my phone on mute. That's a fucking phone. Not in my Dark City.
Not in my casino.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll let Justin take it away with the synopsis.
Oh, great. My synopsis that I wrote, while also being possibly half awake.
Yeah, he was pretty fucking tired when we watched this movie.
It's been a long month.
Yeah.
Well, we also watched the director's cut, correct?
That's correct. We did, in fact, watch the director's cut. I'll talk about like the comparison later on.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But just so you all know, it's the director's cut we watch.
Yeah.
Which is the definitive version from what I've heard.
Absolutely.
So we start, like all good movies, with a naked man in a bathtub. This man is named something, probably. He doesn't know. His name is John. We find out it's John. But he wakes up, he's naked, there's a weird needle on the ground, I'm sure it's not important, and also a dead hooker in this apartment. That's not the best thing to wake up to. He's kind of panicking, he quickly grabs clothes, has weird memories going on, and heads downstairs. Someone tells him he really has to pay rent because it's been 3 weeks. I think is what they say.
Yeah, and they're like, "Hey, I have your name right here. Your name's Jay Murdoch." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Something Murdoch. We find out it's John.
Yeah, it's John.
John has just been framed for murder. That's not exactly the best thing. And we also cut to his wife. No, he gets a call from some doctor saying, "Yo, come see me so I can help you out. Yep, you're going to be feeling a lot of things. You're going to feel really confused. Just come see me. We'll solve all this."
Yep.
This is Dr. Schreiber? I'm pretty sure it's Schreiber.
It's your I think it's Schreiber.
Schreiber.
Yeah, because it's Schreber, so Schreiber.
Dr. Shree.
Or you can just call him Kiefer. It's Kiefer Sutherland playing him.
No. He's a pirate.
Yes, you're right.
Should I give context to that or should I not?
Play the clip. It's like 10 seconds long.
No.
Damn it. It's great.
No one gets to know. Well, I'll just call him a doctor. That also saves time.
There you go. Just doctor. Yeah.
The doctor on the phone meets with John's wife, Emma. And he's like, "Okay, so your husband might be kind of sort of going through a psychotic episode of pure paranoia and be acting like a complete sociopath. So if you see him, call me." And Emma's like, "I haven't seen him in 3 weeks. I thought he ran off on me." And doctor's just like, "Oh, no. Fine." I've just been seeing him. We've been talking about things. He didn't handle leaving well. It's all okay. Also, there's Dapper Hellraiser. No, Dapper Cenobites going after him, but ignore that. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, guys. It's fine.
It's fine. They're clearly nice people. They work for the government, probably, sort of. I don't know. Also, the desk clerk told John that he left his wallet at some restaurant. What was it called again? I forget.
What are you talking about?
The restaurant he goes to where they already have food in like little containers.
Oh yeah, that one. I forget the name of it.
Can't remember either. But he goes to get his wallet from there. Also, we find out a detective is hunting him down because there's been a serial killer afoot. Was it Bombstack or Bobstack?
The detective?
Yes.
Bumstead.
Bumstead?
Yeah, it's literally spelled Bums. It's Bumstead, but they might say like, "Hey, Bombstead," because they have like a kind of a Chicago accent.
It always sounded like Bombstack for some reason. So Bum?
Yeah, it's Bumstead is how it's spelled at least, but it might be because there's Baum is usually Baum, but it's just Bumstead.
I'm going to call him Bum for the rest of this.
That works. Detective Bum.
Bum is going to be trying to hunt down John throughout this movie. And Bum is technically taking over the case of another detective. That detective went fucking nuts. We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
But John runs into the Cenobites again. He kills one. He kills two of them, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And is also learning that he has telekinesis, which is odd. We find out his wife had an affair at some point, which is why he ran away.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they didn't. We'll get to that in a sec. Because John finds the doctor swimming around in a pool talking to the Cenobites. Actually, they're just called strangers, and I should probably call them that.
Yeah, they're the strangers.
But the way they look remind me of the Hellraiser Cenobites. For some
Totally.
reason.
They're clearly mod leftos because like when they're not in their dapper gear like the 40s gear, they're wearing these like leather outfits that look like Cenobite outfits.
Actually, they were modeled after Riff Raff from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, because Riff Raff, one of the actors who plays him, one of the strangers, that is him, and he's the guy who actually made the original play. So.
Yeah, and I was looking up a little behind the scenes, and the strangers were modeled after his character.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Shit, I want to say something, but technically that's a spoiler for Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yeah, we don't want to do that to our audience.
I don't. Once this whole pandemic is over, go see Rocky Horror Picture Show in theaters. Trust me, they play around the fall season. You'll have a great time and be called a virgin. There
was actually one near me, but I didn't go to it, because of COVID.
Really? They were still holding it?
Yeah, apparently.
That's dangerous.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, that caught me completely off guard.
Because JJ, my musician friend, went to see it, and he was like, yeah, it's the only time I've called somebody a slut and like throwing stuff at the screen where I didn't get kicked out of the theater.
Yeah, that happens every time I see a Pixar movie.
I know, right?
But the doctor is talking to the strangers, and turns out he's working with them. And he was going to put memories into John's head, but something fucked up. And John may even be further evolved than the average human. As we slowly learn that not everything is what it seems. I know, what a surprise for sci-fi. The city changes I don't know if it's every day or if it's every few hours, but the strangers will upload memories into people and see how different events play out. It is sort of a people zoo, they describe it as.
I think it's implied either to be 12 or 24 hours, because they have that big clock that goes around once. That comes out every time they change the city. And it's always when it comes back around full circle. So that's either 12 or 24 hours. They never say.
They never do. Also, the city is never in the morning, because the city is in space.
Yep.
And that's why it's a dark city, because it's always nighttime.
Get it?
And they have a dark secret. It works on multiple levels. I'm sure you're laughing. The doctor starts playing kind of both teams at this point, because he says he wants to help John, but we don't know if he's trying to help the strangers that way.
Mm-hmm.
The strangers imprint John onto another stranger, so that way, using John's memories, he can find John, or understand where he'll go.
Try and literally get into his mind.
Fuck, I'm trying to remember how they're captured. Because I know the detective does catch up with John.
Yep.
And he interrogates him. He's like, you're probably a murderer. Also, John might be the serial killer.
Yeah, because throughout the whole movie, John is trying to find this place called Shell Beach, and they catch him and they interrogate him, and he's like, "Do you know how to get to Shell Beach?" He's like, "You can't remember, can you?"
Because no one knows how to get there, because the place doesn't exist.
Like, it's a place that is supposedly common among everybody. Like, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Shell Beach" or something, and because he's in the taxi with the one guy, he's like, "Oh yeah, Shell Beach. I used to take my wife there. Just took my wife there a few months ago for vacation." And he's like, "Well, do you know how to get to it?" He's like, actually, I have no idea." So
you go down Maine? No, you go down Roselle. Wait, what is it?
Pretty much. So it's weird because it's a common place everybody knows of apparently, but no one knows how to get there.
Well, no, you take the express train.
Oh, of course, yes, the express train. That's right.
Oh wait. Also, before this interview, the detective bum talked to the other detective on the case, who has gone completely crazy because he's figured out that everything's fake.
Yep.
That they're all just stuck in a loop. Day never comes, and he finds the quickest way out. It was a train.
It
train was
was
the quickest way out.
Yeah, it was a train. Like him, he technically got on the train, but
No, he didn't get on it. He got under it.
got kind of under it and all over it, really. Yeah. I do like the one line early on where it's like like they're going around his office and it's like these insane scribblings everywhere. It's like everything that's here has been committed to paper. He's like, the only thing that needs to be committed to paper is, or that needs to be committed, is Walensky.
But John gets interrogated. And detective's like, I don't believe you. I think you did the MERS. But then John shows that he has fucking telekinesis, and detective is like, okay, maybe you're not crazy.
Yeah, because he lifts the drawings, quote unquote, up, and he's like, wait a minute, oh.
Yeah, oh, that's right. He got he got double crossed by his uncle.
Yeah, his quote unquote uncle.
We don't know if he's his uncle, because we do find out everyone's occupation or name just changes, because sometimes there's very big changes after 12 hours, and sometimes there's only little changes between people.
Yeah, whenever they tune the city, it's called the tuning or whatever. And we even find out his wife. Like, it's like that whole affair and all her memories of him and her love, that was all made up.
Or maybe it wasn't, because they still somewhat feel the attraction near the end. But
yep.
John and the detective go and see the doctor. The doctor is like, hey, take this needle. It will give you all the answers. But John's a bit hesitant, because the last needle that tried going in his head was going to frame him for murder.
Yeah.
So he just pockets it for now. However, they do eventually... they actually go try to find Shell City. Turns out...
Shell Beach.
They break down... Shell Beach, sorry.
It's all good.
Shell Beach. All they do is find a sign in the middle of nowhere and break it down and realize they're in space.
Yep.
And not the normal planet space. Like, the whole city is just a space station, in a sense.
It's literally just the city is in space. There's no planet or anything. It's just floating in space.
At this point, the strangers come and capture... Do they kill the detective? I forget.
Yeah, because what happens is, like, we find out there's, like, a little barrier because they break through and the bricks go and then, like, go past the barrier. And he fights one of the strangers and they both get jettisoned out into space.
Oh, right.
Because he goes into space and he spins around and he actually sees what the city actually looks like. That was such a rad reveal. Before, dying due to not being able to breathe in space.
John gets captured. The doctor still seems to be on the stranger's side, and we find out the strangers want to use John in order to live forever. They think by studying humans and by using John, they will be able to live forever. Mm-hmm. And the doctor is about to put, I forget whose memories in. No, he was going to upload the stranger's thoughts into John's head, so that way he would be part of their collective mind.
Yeah, part of their hive mind thing. Because they find out that the strangers were like this race of aliens that are slowly dying, actually. Like, the race is dying out, and they think they can find everlasting life by, studying humans.
However, the doctor grabs the other needle under John's coat, puts that in, and it turns out it was all of his original memories, except the doctor's in all of them. Because the reason John is able to use telekinesis and do all this weird shit is because he has evolved to also control the city like the strangers, but is still human, so he will, outlive them, basically. And he gets training through his memories of like he's a little kid going and getting ice cream, and then the doctor is there talking to him as the ice cream man.
I love that moment so much. It's so cool.
It's so weird and it's kind of funny.
I love it, yeah.
But after a train, John becomes the one, takes out all the normal strangers, fights the big bad stranger in a fucking Dragon Ball Z style battle.
It was fucking rad.
It was. Then he takes over the city. Well, he gains control of the city and makes it finally, the sun finally come up. He finds Emma, who has been changed into a different person, but still it seems there's a romance with them, which you could honestly debate if that's John's doing or if there is something that connects them.
Yeah, because she
Who
went from
knows?
being Emma to Anna.
Great naming, guys.
Yep.
But with that, John makes Shell Beach. Sorry, I was like about to burp, and then my body just went no.
You're fine. No, keep it down for now. Doing synopsis.
But he makes Shell Beach. It's day, and he promises to run the city somehow. I don't know where that will end up, but the movie ends before we can answer any of those questions.
Yep. And that was Dark City. So, where do we start with this? And
I do not know.
because there's quite a bit to go over here. Like, not a lot, but there's a bit to cover here. Because so we start with like the technical side of everything.
There's a lot of fucking style.
There is a lot of style. Yeah, let's start with that. Like the cinematography and how the film is shot. We'll start with that. How the film is shot is fantastic. It's very neo-noir, like, harsh shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah, but also it goes a bit further than noir into horror. Like, just because there is that fine line between noir dark and then horror dark.
Yeah, because noir can sometimes actually cross into horror a little bit, because the whole thing of noir, it's dark and gritty and deals with these heavy themes of life and death and shit. So in Orson Welles' Touch of Evil, there's a scene that I swear is just a straight up horror scene that's just really cool and really well done.
Nice. This is the same director as The Crow. I forget his name at the moment, so I apologize. But here is when he was still doing a fantastic job with movies. So
Alex Proyas.
Say that again?
Alex Proyas. I Proyas. I'm probably butchering that. There's the
Alex
burp.
it is.
Alex it is.
We're sorry about the last name.
Yeah. We apologize, Alex.
But yeah, he still keeps that like gothic edge to everything that he had in The Crow, and it's just so beautiful to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the lighting, of course, is really well done. Just how all the harsh shadows and shit. So, just very
honestly, the opening with John in the bathtub, the lighting there reminds me a bit of Saw, like the oversaturated darkness.
I can totally see that. Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just thinking of the guy who burns to death in the first Saw movie.
That was rad. But yeah, that's all just fantastically done. And fun fact, because we said this film was released in 2 different versions, because the one of the things that they actually did change in the theatrical compared to the director's original cut is the color grading, because in the final cut the color grading is very heavily relies on greens and yellows. But apparently in the original cut, they changed that to blue and gray.
Why?
I have no fucking idea. That's a very good question.
Like, okay, changing green or yellow to blue, fine.
But I think one of the other colors was like gray or something, like more of a desaturated look. I don't know. It's weird.
That would suck so much of the mood out of it, honestly.
Exactly. That's part of the reason it sucks. That, and they just changed entire scenes around, but we'll get to that later too. Or we won't. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. Like the vibrance, the vibrance in the dark is so good. It's not a neo-noir thing where it's like, oh, there's just a neon sign every once in a while. I mean, there's these harsh shadows surrounding the room, and then like the tile floor is a bright green or something. Yeah. It's so odd.
It is, and it just adds to the overall atmosphere that this movie has, and it's so well done. Special effects hold up ridiculously good for a movie made in 1998.
The city, when it's moving and changing, is so fucking cool to look at.
It is, and there's this one scene where like there's a table, but then it like gets longer and longer, and they get like the 2 at the end kind of get pushed aside because they're changing them from like a poorer, like a working class household to an upper class rich household.
Yeah, so you see like the table extend, you see a chandelier come in, you see the house stretch to become bigger.
It's just so creative how they, tune the city. I love that part of it.
Yeah, and I honestly can't. Well, okay, there are some moments where it's obviously CG, but there's also other moments where it's hard to tell if it's practical or CG.
Yeah, from a just sheer technical standpoint, the special effects are fantastic for the time.
Yeah, they're like some of the CG is iffy, but honestly, it still fits so well with the style. It doesn't pull you out of the movie too much.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's stylized so heavily that you don't really notice. It's not trying to be realistic. It's trying to, be creative, which is the big difference there.
And I feel like this movie needs to be watched twice because I bet there's stuff in the background that hint towards every twist and turn.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Like I picked up on a couple of things, but it had been far too long since I first seen it to actually fully, pick up on everything.
That's fair.
I hadn't seen it, I think, in a good like 3, 4, maybe 4 years before this.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah, you're good. and then and then of course the writing is really well done. Like the different themes and stuff that it deals with is, like we said, like The Matrix. It deals heavily in existentialism and stuff like that.
Yeah, the acting is 100% solid. No one gives a bad performance here.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland has a strange performance, but his character is supposed to be more, eccentric. So
well, we find out literally all of his emotion was sucked out except the part that wanted to experiment and that was logical and smart.
Yep, because he was forced to erase his own memories when they did the experiment. So
that way he wouldn't backstab the strangers. Spoilers, he backstabbed the strangers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the themes here of like I'm trying to words properly on what everything is about, because just the idea of the world not being real.
Mm-hmm.
This one, honestly, this film would make me more paranoid than The Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in The Matrix, okay, your entire life has been a lie.
Yeah.
I don't feel this is spoiling anything because this is like the first 20 minutes of The Matrix. Right?
Well, first 20 minutes, and everyone knows like everyone knows the general theme of The Matrix of, oh, it's not real, it is The Matrix. So,
actually, side tangent, that isn't always true, because I watched a video of someone who wanted to show their friend The Matrix because they'd never seen it before. And she knew so little about it. She thought it was about extreme biking.
What, because of the leather outfits?
Well, no, she didn't know any of the visuals. She was going by the name of like Matrix.
Oh, that's so funny.
And like Trix was an extreme sport thing.
And it was made in the 90s, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's her reasoning. It was great.
That's amazing. Nice.
She thought it was like BMX biking or something.
That's fantastic.
But in The Matrix, it's like you're born into a world, and it's a lie.
Yeah.
The world itself is a lie, but you still did have those life experiences. In Dark City, there's no guarantee anything is real.
Yeah, because not only are they changing like the look of the city and the feel of the city, they're also, every time they transform the city and all that, they're also changing certain people's personalities. They're also swapping around memories and experiences and stuff like that. So not only is the city not real, your entire existence and who you know could possibly be a lie.
Yeah, I mean, the film does give some hope, like the hotel check-in that John leaves from goes up and finds the body, so the G-men wipe his memory and we see him later as a newsstand person.
Mm-hmm.
But he still has the same saying that he had back in the hotel.
Yeah, so he still retains a bit of his personality. So even though the memories are swapped, so and I do love
But
that
then
reveal.
again,
Sorry, go on.
but then again, we also saw the poor family that turns to a rich family. They got completely new accents and started talking about completely different people once they woke back up.
Yep. So
So
yeah,
who
just
knows?
that concept is mildly terrifying.
Slightly. We may live in that world. We'll never know.
That's the kind of existential dread that these movies try to put in you.
I don't need existential dread right now.
I was
I
gonna
already
say.
have horrible anxiety.
I say this year has had enough existential dread as is. We don't need heavy sci-fi themes. But yeah, all that's well done in the characters. And like I said, characters and acting is just all around really well done. It's they're well written, they're well defined. You know who they are and all that. They, like I said, all have just very distinct personalities. So
And you do start to actually feel for, like, at first you're, no, hold on. Let me words properly.
sure.
With John, you actually do go through his emotional journey of first starting out paranoid and then slowly, like, understanding what's going on and then kind of getting pissed off about everything that's going on.
Understandably, yeah.
It's always nice when you can go on the journey with the character.
Yes. So you see through their eyes what's happening and you understand, therefore making the journey all that much more emotional.
Also, just the setup of aliens studying humans and how they react is kind of interesting.
It is. Yeah, it's a very clever sci-fi concept, so.
Which the part I find funny is I was doing a little bit of digging. Well, I was doing a little behind the scenes stuff, and one of the inspirations said by a director is the Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I can totally see that.
But that actually confused me. Because I thought he would say The Outer Limits was his inspiration. Because there is an episode in The Outer Limits where two aliens who are like just observing humans on Earth see a murder happen. Like, I think it's a husband. This isn't a spoiler. This is like the first. This is the setup of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But they see a murder happen in hotel lobby. They have a little machine that allows them to time travel by like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep rewinding it and changing certain things in the room to see how it plays out. Which is why I was like, really? You went with Twilight Zone when technically there was an episode in Outer Limits that kind of did this concept?
That's so interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I ever got around to that one, so.
That's the only episode of Outer Limits I've actually seen, so that's kind of funny.
Oh, you did? Did you watch it, or?
Yeah, I did watch it. It was on it was back in the day when YouTube had every Twilight Zone and Outer Limits episode in 5 parts.
Interesting.
Or 3 parts, because they were 30-minute episodes.
Was this the remake of The Outer Limits or the original?
No, this was the original black and white.
Huh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know, I found that interesting.
Yeah. And I have the whole series on Blu-ray. I'll have to check that one out.
I forget the name of the episode, so I can't tell you which.
You're good. I'm sure I'll find it.
Or you won't. Maybe I made it all up.
Ooh. Trying to pull a fast one on me, eh?
Fuck.
What?
I've run out of segues.
Okay, well, what are you trying to segue to?
I don't know. That's why I've run out of segues.
Trying to think if there's anything else we can talk about here. Shit. Are we done?
Fuck, where are we at?
39 minutes. Take away about 5 of those probably after cutting out the opening and bantering.
And some silence.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess I'll just transition into other like things that were cut because it's not going to be long. But like I said, they changed the color grading and they kind of cut out a lot of things and they switched around scenes, which didn't make sense. Like they cut a lot of the scenes with character development and stuff like that. And I think they actually cut out some of the lines with how John is evolving and stuff, which explains that. It's like why would you cut that out? That's like integral to the plot.
That sounds like just a shit studio decision.
And that's probably why it went unnoticed for a while. So probably because the theatrical version was not nearly as good as the director's original cut.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with studios where they're like, people won't get this, so let's cut out important plot stuff, and then they'll understand it because it's shorter.
Yeah, they try to like dumb it down for some reason, and it fails because at the end of the day you're cutting out the stuff that hints at the theme of the movie, so it makes even less sense. Dumbasses.
Actually, do you know what happened with Miyazaki and Harvey Weinstein?
I do not.
Okay, because originally studio. Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? I always forget.
I think it's Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli was distributed by...
Disney.
I forget who Weinstein owned.
I thought they were distributed by Disney originally.
They were, but Weinstein also helped with a partner of Disney, which helped distribute Ghibli films.
Okay, and it wasn't his Weinstein company?
It wasn't. It was... I think it was Miramax or something. I forget at the moment.
Yeah, he was with Miramax, so that would make sense.
I think it was Miramax. But Miyazaki knew about Weinstein's infamous cutting of movies. Because if you watch Good Bad Flicks, they do a series called Exploring where they go behind the scenes of underrated films.
Ooh.
And anything touched by Weinstein is usually ruined because he cuts the shit out of it.
Jeez.
Miyazaki sent a fucking katana to Harvey Weinstein with a note that had 2 words: no cuts. If that's not a way to establish dominance, I don't know what the fuck is.
That's fucking fantastic. I love that. Yeah. Like that's the message right there. Short and sweet. No cuts.
I hope. See, I know it was handed like normal mail,
Yeah.
but part of me really hopes Harvey Weinstein just walks into his office and there's a katana through his desk stabbing the note.
All right, like that would be amazing. Yes, like he paid someone or something to just stab it through his desk with the note like hanging off the hilt or something.
Yeah.
No cuts. Hayao Miyazaki. Oh, it looks like
on the back of the note, I fucking mean it.
Yeah. I fucking mean it. No cuts. Sincerely, Hayao Miyazaki.
Studio interference is always so stupid.
It really is. It makes for some interesting stories, and it's infuriating to think about, the lost potential and shit like that. Because it makes me glad that there are like original cuts of Dark City and older films, stuff like that, still floating around, because it's stupid and infuriating. Like I said, I was trying to think of other synonyms, but I don't got anything at the moment.
Annoying.
Annoying.
Fuckerific.
Yeah, there you go. You got my back.
I do. I'm also covered in needles.
Well, you know how it is.
It is what it is.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Like, just fantastic fucking movie, great effect. I mean, and one more thing I do have to say, I still don't know if that whole underground set was practical or just a mixture of like miniatures and live action people, because it looked really fucking good. Like the whole thing with the clock in the face, the Stranger's headquarters.
That had to be a real set.
Yeah, it was just so cool and so well done. So, and of course the makeup on the Strangers was awesome too. And they're basically Cenobites.
Dapper Cenobite.
Yeah. But yeah, fantastic sci-fi movie. I'd definitely say check it out if you got the time. And of course, as usual, watch the director's cut.
Hold on, I will quickly check something.
Okay.
Oh, the director's cut didn't come out till 2008.
Yeah, it was a while.
Damn, with quick Google searching, I cannot find if it was a practical set or somewhat faked.
Yeah, we'd have to dig a little more deeper into that.
We would need more time than the last few minutes of this. But yeah, I think there are probably people who can do a way deeper dive of Darkseid and the themes, but we've said this before in podcasts. This is very much a first impressions type deal.
Yeah.
And, unless it's a film we've both seen multiple times, then usually
yeah.
we talk more about other parts.
And like you said, it's very similar themes to Matrix. It's basically, I think you said it's like a horror Matrix, basically.
Yeah, it's the Matrix, but instead of Neo finding out he's an ultimate badass, he doesn't know anything. He's completely his brain has been wiped, and now he's on the run from everyone.
Yep.
It's just a paranoid, murder-filled mess.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for now. And there's no wheel spin, right?
There's no wheel spin because this has been a one-off. I don't know if we'll ever bring the wheel back. I mean, the whole point of calling it one-off is you do it once.
Yep.
If you want to know all the films that were on the wheel, I will leave a link in the description or show notes, depending on where you watch this /listen.
Yeah.
To a Letterboxd page that has a list of all the films that were on the wheel.
So yeah, we hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening, and yeah, stay tuned for the next episode.
And thanks again to Let's Chat
yes.
for having us on the interview and giving us these recommendations.
Absolutely, they're fantastic people. Go check them out as well. So, with that said, we'll see you guys later.
Or we won't.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. So.
Oh shit! Next is December.
Yeah, it is.
So we're finishing off Wheel 2 now.
Uh-huh.
We don't know what we're starting with on Wheel 2. We still need to do the Oceans episode,
so,
which should be out when you're hearing this one. So if you haven't listened to that one, go do that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, everybody.